The purpose of this video is to really shed some light on social anxiety and also talk about my own struggles. I will touch briefly on my childhood before I go into the signs and symptoms, and then I will share some of my coping techniques that I've learned from therapy. Social anxiety is basically social phobia, and it's when people have an intense fear or panic or anxiety due to a social situation. Now, while anxiety is helpful to everybody in their daily lives, it can cause an issue when people find it really hard to go about their day. So people will find it hard to sometimes leave the house, to commit to work or relationships. Some people find it hard to talk to other people and make conversations. So while anxiety is normal and can help us, there are a lot of struggles that people face and you may not even realise. While people with social anxiety know that their anxiety is irrational and it is not based on fact, it doesn't mean that it makes rational sense. People with social anxiety often think that someone's looking at them and they're not, or they might think that the person's judging them when in fact they probably aren't. People with social anxiety find it hard to communicate in social situations. Some people might find it hard to go for interviews or to go to work or school or leave the house. Some people find it difficult to answer the phone or make phone calls. And some people find it hard to eat or drink while people are watching them. I only just realised I had social anxiety a few months ago. It's been an issue that I've kind of had to deal with throughout my childhood, but I didn't really know I had anything until recently. I thought I was just shy. People used to put a label on me. Chloe's a shy kid. She's quiet. She doesn't really talk to anybody. And that was kind of my life up until now, when I discovered that it's far more than shyness. And I'm trying to get rid of the misconception between social anxiety and shyness, because they're really two different things. So when I was younger, I never used to talk. I went through a period where I think I was 2 or 3, where I didn't really communicate with anybody and my speech was probably considered bad. I had speech therapists to help, but I just basically chose not to talk. I don't really know why. It wasn't until I was a little bit older and I had issues with some words. The alphabet sounds I find difficult. I mean, not so much now, but I still have issues, and it kind of just brings me back to when I was really young. And then if there was something I wanted to buy, like I went in my favourite bookstore and there was a book that I wanted to buy, my parents would give me 2 choices. They would be like, you can buy the book, here's the money. If you really want it, you can buy it. And then they gave me another choice, which was like, if you can't do this, then you'll be going home with nothing. And I found it physically hard to go up to the cashier to give him the money, even though the money is in my hand. I don't know why, but I just found it really hard to go and give him the money, to stand in the queue. Just felt like I was being judged for that. So I would basically go home with nothing, because that was a choice I made. But my parents didn't really understand. They thought I was silly, but there was something much more than what they thought, really, because people with social anxiety suffer in silence. Not many people really understand, and it's really hard for me to explain unless you've actually been through something, of why something so simple as leaving the house or answering the phone can be so difficult. Social anxiety can come from many reasons. Like, nobody really understands where it comes from. Some people believe that it can be from genetics, while some people think that it comes from society and external factors. Traumatic event is the main reason. So if you've had bullying or you've had something really traumatic happen to you, that kind of starts it, and you really have to try and find the source of the traumatic event to really help your anxiety. For me, mine was bullying. I was bullied from a young age, primary school, and people just used to pick on me because I looked different. I was kind of chubby as a kid. I have a gap in my tooth that people don't really realise now, because obviously as I grow up it's got smaller, but when I was younger it used to be pretty big. Like, I could fit like 3 or 4 pound coins in the middle of it because it was quite big and noticeable. That's what kind of started it, I think, from primary school, and people used to pick on me because I looked different. And it didn't help that I had the wrong group of friends. Like, I hung out with friends, I thought they were friends, they weren't really friends. They kind of bullied me in a sense that I didn't know it was bullying. They used to like take my bike, hide it, and tell me that they sold it. And small things like that, like they would lock me in a room in a small cupboard or something, and I wouldn't be able to get out. I had someone punch me in the face in the playground because she wanted something. I had like name calling that was quite bad, and there was another instance where my parents had to go up to the school to sort some stuff out because the teachers were just as bad, and they also bullied me in a sense that I don't really want to go into too much detail. But I thought that once I go to high school, everything will be fine. The bullying will stop. But I think high school just made it worse.